Dr. Lea Imsiragic of Serbia. She is a famous Western astrologer, a trendsetter in combining astrology with magnetobiology. Her lecture topic is Embrace Fully Your Soul Gifts, Venus and Jupiter Magic. Dr. Lea Imsiragic.
Okay, good evening. First, I would like to thank you, Gopal, and his wife and his team for first having vision and courage to put event like this. And for me, it was amazing listening and people on their lecture, and also having opportunity to talk with colleagues from so many different countries. And you know, I just want to point out that all of us have tremendous ability to utilize these days having our awesome mastermind friends. Not just during talks, but also on coffee and lunch break. So I want to ask you, how many of you have a strong Jupiter in your chart? Okay. And how many of you believe that our life is one awesome journey? Okay. So you're on the right lecture. I put this picture, okay, and I'm just figuring out where to put this mic. Okay, so I put this picture because I want to show you that this girl is traveling and that she has in her hand a bag. And this is how I see our chart. I see that we have left and right eye, and that we are looking on TV, on newspaper, everywhere. But maybe if we close our eyes and we figure out that we have third eye, and that is exactly between our left and right eye, and I believe that Jupiter is right here, if we for a second believe that there is something inside much more than we can see outside. If we believe, then we come here with a bag full of gifts, and then we can learn about these gifts, one, when we stop looking outside and we just stop to see what do we already have, okay? And then the real journey begins. So I put this girl, and I said, hello, miracle workers, because I do believe you are miracle workers, otherwise you won't be here. And astrologers are miracle workers. But you know, if you really want to be miracle worker, then this year it's a special year for us. And even UAC, the biggest astrology conference, has a name, Sky and Earth, and astrology is usually connected with the Father, Sky, and Uranus, and this Uranus is coming on 15 May into sign of Taurus. So sign of Taurus is the second sign, but first female sign, where we have Mother Earth, and of course moon exaltation. And how I see is that our mental astrology will become embodied in physical body. And I never ever planned to be an astrologer, honestly. It wasn't my intention, and not conscious intention. So actually I always planned to be a medical doctor. So when I get to my specialization, they told me, oh, you're going to learn about electromagnetical fields in human body and our planet, because everything in our planet is vibration. So having that, in my last work, I figure out that what astrology teach you, that we are a microcosmos. It means that everything that is in the cosmos is in human body is actually completely real. And then the man who really changed my perspective is actually Indian. And that Indian is a medical doctor in neuroscience, and he's also doing Jyotish astrology. And his name is Tony Nider, and he wrote an awesome book combining medicine and Vedic astrology. And this was the picture that literally completely changed my mindset. He was showing when you cut human brain looks exactly like solar system. Even the proportion between planets in miniature version are the same. So it's not that we are like poetically microcosmos. It means we are literally microcosmos. So we are a miracle. And then during my work, again, I come to solar cycles and I figure out that in my astrology, and I believe in all astrology, we have Saturn and Uranus. And it means that we do see in horoscope, like we see that we have muscles, we have bones, okay? We do see that we have a certain predisposition. We do see that we have a genetical pool, that we have circumstances, things are happening to us. But also we see that even in Jyotish you have amazing mantras, you have gemstones. We also see that there is a etherical body. And through my study in medicine and astrology, I get to see that that etherical body is actually building physical body. And from that I understand that there is the spirit. If you look carefully your natal chart, and if you look for that spirit, that bigger being, then things looks differently. And I believe that absolutely astrology can predict and showing us how we are determined, but also that astrology is science of consciousness. It can also show you how by changing your vibrations you can change your destiny. And today I really believe that you are spirit and that your and my primary job is to align with that. What does it mean? It means practically when you look your backbone, that all planets are in your body. And when you look your chart, you can see what do you need to activate, and by specific exercise you can do that. So I am aware that the lecture is 30 minutes, but I was thinking that maybe some of you would appreciate to see a few maps that I'm using, because I believe if you have structure, then you can use by your own. So after my 13 years working with medicine and astrology, and using hormones, using many things that you can measure, and also helping people to activate their purpose and change their outside reality, I connect different 10 planets with 10 chakras. 7 of them are in physical body. 3 transcendental planets that are not visible by naked eye are in our etherical or energy body, but they are not in physical body, exactly as transcendental planets. So this is the map I use. And I know that there are different maps, and if anyone is interested to discuss why is this, I'm available after this lecture. But today we will talk about Venus and Jupiter. So why are Venus and Jupiter, and why first our life purpose is so essentially important? I said without a purpose in life, it's easy to get sidetracked. On your life journey, it's easy to wander and drift, accomplishing little. It's like you are in this life, you're in the ocean, you're traveling, and you are easily distracted if you don't know why you're doing something. Usually people are in fear and they are asking, how I'm going to do that, how? And that's the question. When you know why, how will appear. And that's the Jupiter. So when you're on the purpose, the people, resources, and opportunities start coming to you and you stop chasing them. So there are different ways how we are trying to figure out and live our life, and I love this, what Joseph Campbell said. find a place inside where there is a joy, and the joy will burn out the pain. It means we can always suffer and talk about that. And to be honest, I do have all personal planets in 8th house. So there were so many tragical things: war, divorce, being in hospital, death. And people always tell me, oh my God, you're so easygoing. It's easy for you. And I said, that's my choice. These are not circumstances. So everything will go from your life purpose. So when you align with that, you will get easier success, fulfillment, and joy. And why start with the Venus? How Venus is connected with Jupiter? What I really believe, and that's the reason I started with this Taurus. You know, Taurus is a first female earthly sign. In the first sign of Aries, you realize, oh my God, I'm alive. You become conscious. This is sun exaltation in Aries. And you know, in second sign, Taurus, with the moon exaltation, you start to feel. You feel your body. You know, you start feeling with everything. And in this second sign, Venus is ruling by that. So I believe if you take 4 fingers and you put the first finger in your umbilicus, at the end of your 4th finger is exactly where is your second chakra, and this is between 4th and 5th lumbal vertebra. And why is that so important? It's important because you have to remember, where do we live as we people on planet Earth? We live exactly between Mars and Venus. And Mars is exalted in Capricorn. You want to achieve some goal, and that's why many people work in corporation. They need someone to give them that security and tell them what to do. I mean, we all need security. And then there are these crazy people who actually dare to believe that they can do what they want and what they like. And this could be Venus. And of course, we are, you know, the part of our brain that is the oldest part, it's like connected with the Mars and fear of survival. But I think next year it's a big gate opening for 7 years to do something else. And when we dare actually to close, to open this second chakra here, what is actually happening when you open second chakra, your 6th chakra or Jupiter start opening. What does it mean? I believe that you can't have a bigger vision, bigger Jupiter, than you actually feel that you deserve. And you know, if you think about Venus, Venus is exalted in Pisces, so this is element of water, and everybody are telling you in the popular books, remember your dreams, live your dream. But you can't live your dream if you don't know your dream, if you really, you know, forgot that dream, chasing reality and security. And that's the reason why we first need to activate and open this second chakra, feel worthy, feel joy, and because again, this is 30 seconds, it's 30 minutes. I was thinking just to give you something that you might have valuable and use after this talk. And this is one of my map. I believe that we have conscious light, this is sun, and then we have there Jupiter and Mercury, then we have subconscious light with the moon, and of course completely unconscious one with the Mars and Saturn and South Node, Pluto and fixed stars. So when you activate this circle between Venus and Jupiter, you literally start to remembering when you were very, very young what your purpose, you know, because you're here on this planet because there is why. I mean, out of why you won't be here. You come here and you know why. You just need to remember, okay? And this is how I see our planets in our body. And I see the second Venus is abundance, and what actually block abundance and joy is a feeling of guilt. And guilt is hiding as us trying to be worthy and perfect. And we get rid of that, we start opening our purpose. And then 3 transcendental planets are Uranus, that is in our acupuncture system, and when we get there, we start living our core genius zone. Neptune, we remember our mission, and below, 40 centimeters below our feet, is a Pluto. And whatever you think about Pluto, Pluto is compassion, or until you get there, you will have hate, first toward yourself. And you can be nice and call that not accepting yourself completely. And then again, we are on planet Earth between Mars and Venus, and you know what Oprah said: do it with passion or not at all. So I just took that advice, and I think it's really good advice. So I'll just go fast through this, and then I want to show you this on practical examples, okay? So this is something for you to do after this. Just want to see how we are doing with time. Okay, so this is just my suggestion that after this talk, or just take 5 minutes, just don't complicate. This is not about your thinking, it's about your feeling, okay? Just grab a coffee or tea, sit somewhere, and just do one paper and pen, and in this moment, don't analyze, because Venus is exalted in Pisces. This is exactly the place where Mercury is in fall. You're drinking, okay? So just take a pen and paper and write, connect with yourself, and you can put, hand on your heart and just close your eyes and invite 10 things that you like to do. If the world is perfect, you have all money, all time and everything, just what are the 10 things that you just love to do? You don't have to do, you don't have to prove any, you just love to do that, you enjoy that, and that gives you an energy, okay? And when you do to that, just give them numbers and then pick up 5. Why? Because don't analyze your chart. When you come to 5, and then you take your natal chart, you will understand your Venus, okay? Why Venus is important? Because the Venus is a primary motivator. If you're happy, you will do everything. If you're not, then you have to push yourself and you scare yourself to go to that job and do that. But if there is a handsome guy calling you on that tea and coffee, no one need to push you. You just go. So when we activate Venus here and Jupiter here, we start remembering why we are here, our mission and our dreams. So I want to show you, this is my reminder, okay? So I want to show you on few horoscopes. We can do even in more details, but I want to give you few tips that you can right away use in your natal horoscope for yourself, okay? So I will just analyze Jupiter and give you 3 or maximum 4 rules how to take Jupiter in your chart and tell what is your purpose, okay? So let's start looking in the first chart, and I will give you data after that. So this is male chart. This is one of my mentor. And we can see that the Jupiter is in the 7th house. So when we see Jupiter in the 7th house, and we see that this man have everything on the side of other people, you must think about someone who is with so many planets in 7th house, someone who cooperates with other people, someone who can be in the public, someone who can easily understand a need of other people. And with the Jupiter in Virgo, Virgo loves to improve everything, huh? Some people are smiling and nodding. Why? Because the Virgo is on the half of horoscope. And the Virgo see how this can be whole. I can, just improve this. And Virgo also likes to check and measure things to know how to improve that. Okay? Are you agree with this? And then this Jupiter is connected with the Sun and Pluto in Leo. So a purpose, we can say it's somehow connected, cooperating with other people, also improving that, being on the stage, empowering people, Sun in Leo, to make transformation. Do you agree with all this, what I said? Okay, so, and let's check this. So this man is Jack Canfield. These are his data. He is the most famous American coach. He's famous like American coach #1. And Jack is probably the most famous as the man who invited different leaders and organized so-called transformational leadership council. Sounds like a Sun and Pluto. So from this transformational leadership council, actually almost all people in that council are the people that are in this famous book and movie, The Secret. Probably many of you know. And how Jack is doing, actually, he has 64 rules of success. And it's so Virgo. For every rule, you have tables, how you measure that every day. And in nice way, you give yourself feedback and then you correct yourself every day. And it's very Virgo because he said, if you know how to do your rules for success, it's like unlocking, a safe, or, you have to put all these numbers and in the right orders. And the second thing I want you to look in your chart, which houses your Jupiter is ruling, because the houses that your Jupiter is ruling is what are you giving to people, okay? So if we see in this chart, Jupiter is ruling by 11th and 2nd house, okay? So what he's primarily giving to people, he's teaching them how to make abundance in every way, and his specialization is to make a mastermind groups, which is 11th house. And he is even on workshop, connecting people in mastermind groups. And of course, this Transformational Leadership Council is one big mastermind group. So let's see another example. This is a female chart. And we can see that the Jupiter is in 3rd house in Leo conjunct Mercury. So just say one word. When you see it's a 3rd house Mercury, what purpose could be connected with? Communication. What else? Writing. Books. Communication, writing, books. And it's in Leo, and Leo always likes to make something shiny and bright and empower that. And then we can see that that Jupiter is squaring Uranus, so it might be some crisis. Facing in 6th house of job, but this positor is really good. And then we see that Jupiter trines Moon and Neptune in Sagittarius. So maybe her purpose could be connected with communication, with words, with the books, and maybe it is to inspire someone, and Moon could be inspire people worldwide, or maybe especially women, because this is the Moon. And if we see that Jupiter is ruling with 10th house and also 7th house, I want to show you this chart. This is chart of Kate Butler. He is author of series of the books Women Who. So you have like Women Who Inspire, Women Who Influence. He's helping a woman around the world to write a book. He's inviting different ladies like to write a chapter. And what actually she's helping them with their career, which is 10th house, and to become more visible, which is ruling of 7th house. And the one thing I didn't show you is that the Venus is house. So Venus in Cancer is by nurturing and being gentle and supporting in that motherly way. And this is one of the most transformational chart I saw. As you can see that the ruler ascendant is Scorpio and the ruler of ascendant is Mars in Aquarius conjuncting South Node, and that is trining Saturn and Jupiter. And you know, this man is, he was in American Army, and very young he became a pilot in a US Army, and he just, you know, they promoted him very fast. And actually, he what happened, it happened when he was in Afghanistan and US started losing war there, and even though he was a pilot, he was forced to go on the ground and help on the ground. And that was the first time, as he said, I saw my so-called enemies face to face, and I realized these people are the same as I am. They are not my enemies the way I was imagining when I was in that plane. And if you see this Jupiter, his Jupiter is in 11th house between Saturn and Pluto, and you also have a trine with Mercury, trine with this moon, and square with the Venus in Capricorn. So again, we have someone who can help people with the 7th house in Gemini with communication. So he found his purpose really going into stage and speak, writing the books. But the books in Aquarius, you know, maybe Roy will agree with that, but Aquarius, and especially Mars on 12 and South Node, you are humanitarian with Aquarius. And now we want to see which houses Jupiter rules. So Jupiter rules here by 4th house and the 2nd house. So what he provides for people, he built them houses, and he learned them how to have things like a food. Few minutes. Okay, how to have a food. And actually, I want to show you who is this. It's my friend. It's a Garrett Biss, and he is a founder of 1 million goal. And it's not about money, it's about providing to 1 million people solar pipe in countries so that everybody can have water and also place to live. And I mean, we can talk in details, but I'm just trying to point just a few rules so you can use. And this is the final chart. And we see here that the Jupiter is retrograde and is exalted in 12th house. And you know, always exalted Jupiter will give you the things easily comes to you. But when we think about exalted Jupiter in 12th house, exact trine Neptune, what do you think about? Just give me some words. Dennis? Humanitarian, And somebody else? Religious? Spirituality? Emma? Spiritual, musical, meditation. Absolutely, I agree. And behind the scenes, yes. And it's very interesting, you know, how our life purpose is unfolding if we allow that. So for this man, you know, on Saturn return, he was inviting to go to spiritual academy to meditate. And since then, he learned their Jyotish and he started to meditate. And today, one of his primary thing is teaching people technology of consciousness. And I agree with all what you said. And of course, this Jupiter trine Neptune and trine also Sun. And if you see, the Jupiter is actually ruling by 9th house. And what he's primarily providing people, he provide people with education, with traveling, and with life purpose, connecting with karmic astrology. This is Alexander's chart, my husband. And you know, his primary thing is a karmic astrology. And this Jupiter is 12th house. He believes if you know big why, and big why is when you can have a bigger picture, not only this life, but the previous and your future life, then you can really have a big picture. So this is my last message, that really, if you apply just a little bit of this, there is always best is yet to come. Okay, don't just believe if someone tell you something different, because you know, if you really have guru or teacher, Jupiter always likes bigger vision, and Jupiter always believes that everything is happening for the highest purpose and good. Huh? So your teacher will never narrow your vision, always make it bigger. So these are two books that I have: Energy Astrology and Astro Healing. Actually, how to activate this with the exercise and with the flower essences. And this is like, I just told Roy before my lecture that because I have such a strong Mars and Saturn in my horoscope, and when I was young, they told me in my school that I'm terrible in painting and that I can learn anything, but you know, I will be always, always, always terrible in painting. So 3 years ago, I just said no, because I figured out I love to paint. So if I love to do something, I'll just do that. And just from that painting, so many things open up for me, like people, resources, projects, and they're not connected with painting, but that flow open up everything. And by the way, I do have Venus trine Neptune. So I highly encourage you to open up your channel, which is Venus, which will open up your bigger vision, and then you will start to remembering your dream and why you are here, and you know the whole planet will benefit from that. So thank you very much.